Yo, yo, yo. Let's get ready to rumble. What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy, OK Bet, man, aka K Trades. I'm back. I know I'm a little late, right? We had to let the Nvidia earnings kind of play out, die down. It didn't do anything, man. Nvidia literally gapped down 1%, 1%. So from close, yeah. So basically flat. So this is exactly why we didn't want to swing anything for Nvidia, just because we figured, it's either gonna dump overnight or dump for earnings. But either way it goes, let's get into the game plan, man. SPY is currently sitting at 740.30. 740.30. All right, let's see where that is. 1 second. 740.30. All right, so first off, today was smooth, man. Today was simple, right? We went over how the fact that if this channel broke down, right? Move out the way. But yeah, I mean, if this channel broke out, right, we would get some calls, go long, right? Remember, pull back. We're still in a super bullish market, right? As long as our levels held. Perfect example, right? Boom, 736 held to a T, or 735. My fault. So we bought calls at the absolute lows, right at 915. Yep, right there. Yeah. Yep, timestamp to prove it. Yep, y'all know how we do. So bought calls, man. Of course we sold them at the top. Got a couple put scalps, and really that's really about it, honestly. There isn't really much else to do, right? Remember, you can't force trades. You just take what the market gives you. So yeah, let's look about what's possibly going on. So if Nvidia does what it normally does, right? You know how Nvidia always has the huge sell-off after earnings. If it does that and it does drag SPY back below its previous close in 740, which is where the 5-day SMA is as well. Go ahead and put that out. Yeah, right around there. So if we get back below that, then we're most likely going to come back and roll back down to 736 again. But if we do, hold that 738, we possibly could have a nice little break of this instead, and kind of maybe get back up. But we're really gonna have to wait and see that first open and move, especially if we do gap up, right? Because if we do gap up, I'm still not gonna just blindly blind to that. I need to see the dip first, and if we get the dip by, right? Let's see, SPY is currently at 740.50 now. It's kind of pumping. Okay, hold on. So right here, so SPY's sitting right here right now. So yeah, if we do open back up above, easy, right? Easy dip by. Like I said, the 5-day SMA will be right there, right? Boom, right? 5-day will be right there. So any dip buys over that, as long as that holds, buy it. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Not financial advice, but I'm saying that's what I'm gonna do, right? That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, and then of course our first target will be that Friday's high, right? And then we'll have this huge gap in front of us, right? So hopefully we do fill the gap. It'll just be an easy, buy some calls and just relax type day, right? Boom, perfect. So we got a little gap right there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so if we can get back up in that gap, see if we can fill it, see if we can partially fill it, right? At least 745, at least. But yeah. So I actually have some calls, a little couple out of just in case we did gap up or something, but nothing crazy. Like I said, I just got 750 for Friday. So yeah, if we do get the fill, I mean, who knows? We possibly could see all time high tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, that's the upside. Upside target is pretty simple. Like I said, blue sky territory, anything above that. But let's say we do do the usual Nvidia gap up and then absolute sell off, right? If we do lose the previous day's close and the 5-day, right, and the 5-day SMA, it's going to be an easy short right back down to that 738. We continue to go below that. 736 is where I'll kind of see, okay, is this going to be a higher low, right, in between that zone? Because if it is a 30-minute or hourly higher low, then it'll be easier to tell if, this is just a pullback, after today's little pump and stuff like that. Because remember, just because the market, goes up and has pullbacks, you still have to zoom out on the, on the bigger time frame as well to see where we are as far as like the, the hourly and the 4-hour higher lows and stuff like that as well. So yeah, anything kind of above this zone, we still could set an hourly higher low, right? We got a little, a low, higher low right there. And then anything above kind of could set a higher low. So, they'll still have an argument for that if we do want to dip by, anywhere down here as well. But if we do start to lose that 735, yeah, watch for that. Oh no, we kind of closed it, right? So absolute closes right there. So they do want to come back and close the gap, I guess you could say, right there at 733. Obviously rolled down 731, and we've had some crazy bounces from 731, right? From 731, even over here. So if this doesn't bounce no more, right, we're gonna have to pay attention finally to our 21 SMA, which will come right about that 728 level, which in my opinion, I probably would still look to initially buy it off that 21, right? So yeah, so it's gonna be a simple game plan, man. Now that we're finally out of this boring sideways controlled selling. But yeah, remember, we do have that weird head and shoulders that possibly could pay out, right? So that's the only reason why it's there. Obviously, like I said, don't fear it. Most times when it's too obvious, when it looks too good to be true, it usually is, right? So, and that's what I was saying earlier when I went live. I was saying they could have got a little sneaky right shoulder right here, right? They could have got a little, and then that been a little sneaky right shoulder, and then they just, overnight, did all the sneaky steps, and we probably do just continue to go up. So only one way to find out, like I said, tomorrow we'll gap up if we do hold this 5. Gonna be the easiest dip buy, right? Don't be scared of it, and then just see if we do fill the gap. If we do, then of course you have 750, right above up top, and then all the way up to 755. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty simple. But consolidation leads to expansion. So if we do have another leg up, right, then you can just relax, let it kind of play out. Remember, we are still in a bullish market, so when in doubt, zoom out. When in doubt, follow the trend. The trend is your friend, remember? So keep it simple, right? We know there's gaps below. We know. We haven't forgot about them. But, we're just playing what's in front of us, right? If we get down that low, we'll worry about it. Like I said, I'll go live. We'll go from there. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. Nothing crazy going on. Do we have I don't know if we got any major data. Let me check real quick. Actually, hold on. I know what's today? Today's Wednesday, the 20th. So you have jobless claims 8:30, housing, building permits, PMI. Okay, so yeah, I mean it's a few things, but like I said, we'll see how it goes, right? If they give us a good catalyst, let's say we're kind of breaking out and holding, and they give us a catalyst that pushes us, then maybe they might go ahead and even partially fill that gap. But remember, we still have some sellers up here from over here, right? Remember, this was initial rejection. So even if we hit this, watch for, a possible little pullback first, even if it gets a deeper pullback and then goes, So just be careful with that. And, yeah, what I always say, keep it simple, man. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, all right? That's it. That's all you got to do. Keep it simple. Be patient, right? Relax. You're never going to miss anything. You're never going to miss any trades, right? There's always going to be another day, always going to be another trade. So y'all keep that in mind, and yeah, let's get paid all over again. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Simple game plan. See y'all.